Hey everyone, hope everybody's keeping well and looking forward to this tonight. Tonight we have Gordan Wilkie coming on from all the way from Portugal, I think. So that's where he's living at the moment. So hopefully we get him on soon. He's going to share his journey with the company, all his experience, 32 years, I think, with the company, which is absolutely incredible. But I'm going to let him share his story. So bear with me there. So when he comes on, I'll be able to invite him on. Okay. The joys of double lives and technology. So, you see Sabrina there. Just waiting for Gordon to come on. So guys, as I said earlier on today, a couple of people coming onto my page over the next week sharing their stories. Obviously, years and years of experience going to be coming on my Facebook Live over the next week. So if you've ever been interested in our opportunity, now is the chance to jump on and see what's possible. So Gordon, if you're there watching, I can't, here we go, add. Okay, adding you there, Gordon. Hopefully this works. You get on.
Right.
Well done, Gordon. Thank you for coming on tonight.
No, it's all my pleasure.
I hope you're keeping
And
well. Are you over in Portugal?
we are, yeah, we live here. I mean, this is our home now. So, yeah, although you'll come for holidays, it's great to be here all the year round. Although we had some rain today, which we're all saying, God, give us rain, please. We haven't seen serious rain since probably March.
Yeah, well, it's well needed for the golf courses anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
Well,
So
thanks for coming on. I won't keep you too long. Obviously, it's an honor to have you on my page. You know, someone who's been with the company for so long. I really appreciate you doing this for me. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? How did you come across this opportunity?
I suppose I mean, my background is that of accountancy, and I was working for a firm, a computer firm actually, as an accountant. And I was at a bit of a crossroads of my life. I'm thinking, do I really want to kind of do this for the rest of my life? Is there something else out there? The normal kind of dilemma that you go through in your own mind, and you're thinking about things like that. And a friend of mine, he'd invited me along to a meeting, and he was somebody that I respected. So I wasn't going to say no, and had an open mind. The interesting thing was he let me try the product before I actually joined, so I knew a little bit about it, and I was excited to go. Went along on a Saturday morning to a meeting. We had live meetings then. There was no such thing as Zooms and Facebook Lives and things like that. It was all about touching people and being with people, that sort of thing. And there was a lot of people there. Goodness knows how many, 200 perhaps. And a lot of information. A lot of it went over my head. But it came to one part of the actual meeting when a load of guys stood up and gave their testimonials. And there was something in the back of my head that said, what if this was true? If they can do it, I can do it. And I'm sure that's what really spurred me on. And I just got stuck in. I was one of these people that I don't do half measures. I just kind of went in, bought all the products, understood kind of how they work for me, and if they were going to work for me, they work for other people. My first customer was my doctor. I thought, oh, let's kind of try him for, see if he can like the product. And it was great. The trouble is, he had 5 kids, and he took the Juice Plus and he divided into 5 different kind of into 5 different portions. So I think they got about 3 days each or something like that at Juice Plus. But that was when Juice Plus. I actually joined a way back before that. Yeah, so that's really how I got going.
So, so
1991 was when I joined. So this is my 31st year in the business.
very good. And was that back? You're from Scotland, aren't you?
I was from Scotland, but I was living actually in London at the time. And the funny thing was I sponsored somebody way back in Edinburgh, and then my second person I sponsored was in Birmingham. So, you know, these were my contacts in terms of my contact list. And it was quite funny because the guy that sponsored me left actually within about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, months of joining the business. And I had to kind of like, you know, find somebody up in my upline who, you know, was prepared to, you know, take me on board. And I found this mad guy. He was a dentist actually. And he actually said, look, Gordon, what you want to do is write a list of 250 names. And I'm saying, I don't know 250 people. And he says, when you do, give me a ring at the surgery and we'll talk how we can proceed from there. All right, okay. So I kind of, you know, diligently got my pen, my paper out, looked at all different things on my phone, etc. I got to about 80. I thought I'll phone him up and see how he is. Anyway, I phoned up and his receptionist answered the phone. She said, say, I want to speak to Robert, and it's Gordan Wilkie. Okay, I'll come back to you. Anyway, she came back in a couple of minutes and she said, Robert wants to know how many names you've got on your list. And I thought, oh, interesting question. I said, I've got 80 names, really excited. I'll come back to you in a minute. She went again, came back again, and she said, Robert says, get 200, he'll phone you up. And she hung up the phone to me. I thought, you cheeky little monkey. And what it did do, it made me see what I did. And I think a lot of people do this. They think of the 5 or 10 people or 20 people or 30 people that they know that will do the business. I was looking at it from a different wrong point of view. I needed to have a database of all the people I knew because I didn't know who was interested in the products, who was interested in the business, and who might refer me to somebody that was interested in either or. So I just got my old school almanacs. I think I got to something like 350 in the end. You know, it was like, hey, Robert, look at me. And then what we did was he made me say, okay, who are the scary people on your list? I said, oh, the scary people, yeah, I've got them down there. Oh, him and him and him. Guess what? That was the first people we went to see. And I mean, I was absolutely petrified. But the great thing was my job was to get the kind of appointment, and he was going to hold my hand all the way through to start off with. So it was a bit like, you know, he'll show me what to do, and then he'll watch me doing it myself, you know, give it a try, and then he'll leave me alone, and that's it. And that's how we developed our kind of distributors then. It was really interesting. It was like being pushed into the deep end at times of the swimming pool.
That's great. So that was back obviously in the early 90s. So it was all face to face. Did you I was in when you signed up, I was 5 years old.
Well, that makes me feel really happy.
But I can only imagine, and I know from speaking to Damien Brennan and other people who have been in the business for 30 odd years,
he's a grandfather.
It's a lot different now. But did quick few questions. Obviously was the sign up? How much was it to sign up to the business? Do you remember?
Say again. It was what?
How much was it to sign up to the business for the franchise?
Yeah, good question. I think it was £100 then, actually.
£100.
No, cheaper than, yeah, I can't remember. There was 100 euros. Oh no, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't much more than
it was.
The big problem is it wasn't enough. That was the trouble, you know.
Yeah.
It should have been £30,000 to make people work and to treat it as a proper business.
Exactly, and it's kind of difficult now, isn't it? Like where it's too easy not to do. You know, where if you had any other business in the world, you would have to put an investment in. Okay, another question there was coming to my head. So obviously it was face to face. It was difficult. You had to actually go meet people, and maybe telephone calls. There was no research on the products either back then. So it was a whole new product, you know, to the marketplace.
Yeah, so I joined in '91, and we were really kind of promoting the environmental products at that stage, which was water and air filtration systems. And it wasn't until about '97 that Juice Plus came in. About 97 was it
94? I think it was
93, 94. And you know, that was a whole different ballgame. And you know, the research, I think, was very, very scary and scarce at the time. But we all became pseudo doctors. We all thought we knew about everything, you know. And everybody that you came across, oh, you need Juice Plus. Oh, yeah, you need Juice Plus. You know, no matter what they were actually on, they needed Juice Plus. And that was quite fun, actually, in many ways. But it was tough. You know, it was really tough to start off with.
Did you have to buy stock?
sorry, I went down a route following the medical professionals. And that was what, because my upline was a dentist, he said, look, where we need to go is we need to find people with, good circles of influence where, they've got a contact base and that type of thing. So, the first guys I signed up were, kind of the osteopath, alternative medicine kind of type people. And, they were great in terms of introducing and building a customer base. It was really finding the distributors that wanted to take it forward from there. And that was, what we focused on.
Very good. And did you have to buy stock back then?
Yes, we could actually come in at different levels, which was a stock level. But the interesting thing was, you could come in quite a high level if you wanted to. But I only came in as a direct distributor, which is like a partner plus, which wasn't that much, but it was enough to give me the impetus to kind of get going. And as I said before, I took all the products. I knew the products were good. And, I think that's the number one thing now. You've got to become a product of the product. I mean, I'm 67. I'm still, playing golf, as you know, and I'm actually beating people that are younger than me, and they can't believe it, in terms of my fitness, my levels, and all the rest of it. So, something's got to be working, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, you are a good golfer. What's your handicap now? Is it 7, 6?
I've just gone up to 7, so yeah,
So
it's
incredible, yeah. It's not easy.
I don't practice as much as you do.
You should.
Yeah, you're right.
What was I going to say? So, okay, so we're going through the 90s. You reached National Marketing Director in 1996?
Yeah.
No? So that's incredible. And especially back then, doing all these, I suppose the business, it never really changed. It's about talking to people and conversations, hasn't it? Like, even though we can just do it much easier now through social media, but the fundamentals of the business is still talking to people and having the conversations.
Yeah, yeah. And as you say, nothing's changed in many ways. But your enthusiasm perhaps kind of differs as you get older and younger in the business. So when you start, I mean, I haven't spoke to anybody. If anyone went past me and they came within 3 feet, I'd be telling them about Juice Plus, I'd be telling them about the company, I'd be telling them about, and it was almost like I had verbal diarrhea. Now I'm a little bit more selective about who to speak to, and sometimes that the people that are munching into McDonald's and drinking the beer, you're not going to convert them into taking Juice Plus or whatever anyway. But you might kind of fit them on the business. I don't know. It's you become a little bit more suspect in terms of what you're saying to people.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, they didn't have the bonuses back then either, did they?
I got to PMD with 0 bonus.
That's
horrible, I mean, that's horrible. Yeah.
When did the bonuses?
117,000 euros or whatever it is, and is it pounds or euros?
155,000 euro, yeah. Would have been nice.
Unbelievable. But my wife's a national marketing director as well, and I remember she got a bonus because she was like, kind of in after me, obviously, and we were so excited. I think it was 3,000 at that stage, but we were like jumping up and down. Yeah, 3,000 pounds, that's an amazing bonus. But now the bonuses are astronomical. It's fantastic to see people learning that, and the life-changing, kind of things that happens to it because of it. It's just unbelievable. So, I'm excited. I'm all for it. And I think, the people that it's hard work. You've got to roll up your sleeves. You're not going to get it for nothing. You've got to put yourself out there. And I think the people that are prepared to do that, they become very successful and they deserve it. That's the great thing.
Amazing. People have no idea how lucky they are now when they see the hard work that went into it before. It'd be astonishing how many people would be able for it back then. But they've made it a lot better now. They've added in a bonus. We don't have to buy stock. It's even cheaper now to get involved, which it was back then, very affordable for a normal person to come in. So let's say I start the business now. What kind of advice would you give to me, just in terms of building a long vision and what's possible with the opportunity?
I think that long vision is one of the things that I've really encouraged people to do. the first thing I did when I got involved, my upline, the mad dentist, he was going to a conference in New Orleans, and it was called the Sales Coordinator Conference or something like that, Express or whatever. And I thought in my mind that I had to be a sales coordinator to go. So I think it was in September. I joined in the July, and really worked my butt off for 2 months. And I actually didn't get to sales coordinator in the first of those 2 months. And he said, look, just come along anyway. When I got to the conference, everybody was there, whether you were a sales coordinator or not. It was like, you little devil, you cheated me. But what it did do was it gave me a huge amount of vision as to what was going to happen. It was almost like, hey, listen, if it can happen over there, it's going to happen anywhere. And especially in the UK, we follow what they're doing. I remember kind of staying up until, whatever, 7 o'clock in the morning, phoning all my downline when they got up and say, I've cracked it, I know what to do, I know what to do, I know what to do. I went back, and I think in the first 3 days, I got promoted to sales coordinator. I had a sales coordinator that was a person that was on the brink of going sales coordinator in Edinburgh, promoted him as well. We had like 5 senior directs that just went like that. And it was just amazing because I had that vision. And going to a conference is definitely where you will create the vision. You'll speak to people, you'll see people, you'll hear stories. Some will make you cry, some will make you laugh, but at the back of your mind, some will say, I'm going to do this, and you get a total and utter feeling in your heart that this is the right kind of place to be, and that's important. So going to conferences, I think it's great for the long-term vision. Being on the product is the next thing, and not just the one product. Some people come in, because they can't. I mean, what it's like in Portugal. I mean, it's a very poor kind of country. Average income 700, 800 euros a month. So them affording expensive products to take is quite kind of hard for them. But I do insist that people join as much as they can with capsules, because I think that's the one that's going to give them the biggest impact. I know that the complete will show you maybe a weight loss situation, which is fantastic. And Michelle and I take complete every single day of our lives, every single day. We do smoothie bowls first thing in the morning. If I don't have a smoothie bowl, I don't think I have anything really. And Michelle goes to the gym, she'll have perform on the way back and all the rest of it. But capsules for me is the one that I believe in most, and it's the one that's got the most research as well. So you've got a doctor in your pocket. That's what I like. Hey, listen, don't believe me, believe the science, believe, have a look at this, and this is what's really good. The other thing is, and I see it all the time, people are not consistent in anything that they do. You probably see it in golf. They get the bug, but like you said, I'm not hitting the ball. I'm not practicing as much as I should do. But being in our business, you've got to be consistent and showing up every single day. I mean, since I kind of befriended you on Facebook, I mean, I think you and Sabrina, I see your feeds like you're like my kind of children. I see you every single day. And come rain or shine on that golf course as well, Paddy. I'm very impressed with that. Although in Ireland, you've got to get used to the rain, haven't you?
Yeah. Amazing. Great advice there, by the way. And okay, so let's take it past the 90s. Okay, what has the business done for you in terms of lifestyle? What have you been able to do? What is your best moments that from the business? You've obviously been able to do this full time since very early on, I'm sure.
Yeah, I did. I launched into it full time, kind of fairly early on, and that was kind of good. I had the safety net of having some money behind me, I suppose. But that wasn't the case. You really had to go out there and make it. Lifestyle. Well, here we are in Portugal. I mean, if you told me 20 years ago that I'd be kind of going down a route like that, but since I met Michelle, it was having a buddy in the business, not just a partner for life, but a buddy in the business as well. And we'd been coming down to Portugal to her parents' place for years, and we loved the weather, we loved the people here, we loved the environment, and now when the internet changed so much that you could actually work from anywhere in the world, not just work from home, then that appealed to us. And we came down to 15 for the winters. because we hated the coldness and the wet of good old Britain. And it was great. We really loved it. And then we said, oh, come down for a year and see what happens after that. And that's when we kind of came down, bought a house down here, and relocated our whole business down here. So, we're operating from Portugal. And I don't think without the kind of financial kind of recompense, knowing that, I'm still getting a check every single month from Juice Plus, then, we wouldn't have been able to afford it and be here. And, it's just fantastic from that point of view. Memorable moments, well, meeting my wife at a Juice Plus conference was pretty cool. I met her in Wiesbaden, and she was there as a visitor, and we bumped into each other in the corridor. And I remember walking upstairs, and my upline, my direct upline at that stage was James Sanderson. And I turned around to James Sanderson and I said, see that girl going up the stairs now? I bet you I will be marrying her. I said going out with her. I'll be going out with her in the next 3 months. And if it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, I literally did. And then, we got married, and we're out here now. Another highlight for me, and this is a biggie really, was that one of our customers went and climbed Mount Everest. And he actually put a Juice Plus flag at the top of Mount Everest. His name's Bear Grylls, but I mean, that to me, I've known Bear's mother and father when I first started business. They were in the business, it was fantastic to see them. We used to have meetings at the House of Commons when Michael Grylls was an MP. In fact, we had a launch meeting of Juice Plus for our team in one of the common rooms at the House of Parliament. And it was, fantastic. But Bear Grylls, he's an amazing advocate for our product. And, he's been on it for at least 25, 30 years. As long as I've known him, he's on Juice Plus. And, to see him raise that flag in Everest was just amazing. And probably the final thing would be conferences. Seeing people come to conferences in our own team is very important, and see them grow from conference to conference. One of my American mentors, a chap called Bob Burdick, he actually said that his very first conference, he had 22 people there. And you go, wow, 22 people. And then he turns around and says, I never made the same mistake twice. And I've been to his conference in America, and his after conference roundup, there were something like 1,500, 2,000 people there, just from his team in the actual in the roundup. I mean, that's the vision that you get when you go to these conferences, and that's what really sticks with you all the time. And even in your darkest moments, you think about it, and in your happiest moments, you're there and sharing all the things that you've learned along the way.
Incredible. I have James coming on tomorrow morning.
All right, okay.
So he said he'd come on now. So I didn't know that about you. But yeah, friendships as well. And obviously you found your wife in the business. So we're all saying this, and I know it sounds cliche, but the company and the opportunity can change people's lives. It literally can open up doors that you never knew existed, can set you on a path. And you're living in Portugal. I remember when I was over there this summer, I was speaking to a guy, and he says the reason he bought a house in Portugal, you're guaranteed 300 days of sunshine every single year, low cost of living, you can live like a king. And he said low crime rate, and it's perfect place for somebody to go and settle down and live their life. It's a really nice place. And you know what, maybe myself and Sabrina might join you over there in the future, but who knows.
Hey, listen, you're more than welcome. And I think that's exactly how it is. People kind of come here because of the sunshine and all the rest of it, and we just love it.
Incredible. I'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Are you heading to Birmingham in November?
I am, yeah. I'll be there in November, and we're going to Lisbon in January.
Okay, Sabrina's gone there. Hopefully I'm going to be there too.
You can get there, and indeed by then.
I think I can get there, yeah. So fingers crossed, we'll go for it, and we'll attack it anyway and see how we get on. But I'll see you in Birmingham.
absolutely. One just last thing before we go.
Yeah.
One of the other highlights I was just thinking was when the president of the company, Jay Martin, phoned me up, and he said that he was coming across to a conference in the UK and Europe. But on the end of it, he wanted to arrange a game of golf at St Andrews, Kings Barnes, and Carnoustie. And could I put a 4-ball together to come and play against him, his son, and 2 of his mates? I'm going, yeah, I think I could. And that was probably a personal highlight for me. You know,
Amazing.
I never slept. I actually had the curtains open at the Old Course Hotel just so that I would get first light in the morning and see the golf course. I mean,
I hope it wasn't that window that they hit across. Is it the 17th, 16th, I think it is?
Yeah, that's it, the 17th. That's where but ours was on the other side. But what was interesting, there was a window cleaner, and he had like one of these poles. It was like 100 feet high, and he's cleaning all the windows. And I actually said to him, I said, "Do you find any golf balls at all?" And he says, "Go and open the glove compartment." And literally, I opened the glove compartment, and all these balls fell out. And he said, "You won't believe where we find them. You know, they hit the kind of surface, and they end up on, you know, the 77th floor or something like that in the flower pot." And he says, "It's just amazing." But yeah, no, that was, I mean, as a golfer and as a kid who's always played golf and watched golf at St Andrews, that was a real treat. You know, it was brilliant.
Brilliant. And yeah, you did mention Bear Grylls and other great people. I remember Simon put up a picture on his page, and there's lots of, you know, famous people who've been part of the company. I think it was Russell Brandt's. Is it Russell Brandt's father?
Yeah, I believe he took the products. Yeah.
There was a Formula One guy. What's it? Hunt? Was it?
Oh, yeah, David Hunt. He was he was in my upline. He was James's upline.
Jane, okay, yeah, so there, yeah, so there's a lot of people been with the company. That's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But, you know, it goes to show that it's an opportunity for everybody, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, okay, and then, okay, I was going to let you go. But, well, okay, so why is now the best time?
I think I mean, if I put my accountancy hat on at the moment, you know, the economics is just so right at the moment. And, you know, we're in a situation where, you know, people are kind of doing hybrid jobs, you know, working at home, working in the office. Some of them don't even know if they've got a job tomorrow type of thing. So, you know, we offer a fantastic plan B just to be able to, you know, get people, you know, going in a different direction. And I think, you know, from a health point of view, you know, I still see people testing out for COVID type thing. But unless your immune system is, you know, optimal health, not just good health, optimal health, you're always going to be open to all sorts of things. So, you know, our products are there. So it's like 2 curves going like this at the same time. And that's what I see. The opportunity is so good at the moment. And it doesn't get any better, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other opportunity for a normal person out there to create a business at such low cost, and the returns and the rewards that we've been talking about this whole call, you know, there's no better opportunity out there.
I agree.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Gordon, I'll let you go. I really appreciate that again. Chat to you soon.
Yeah, love to Sabrina as well. I see her there sending me hearts. Thank you very much.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.